Y'all back?
Yep. Back alive.
Oh, you just text us again. Okay.
Thank you.
Oh, that's fine.
Hear Megan, but she's not seeing her yet.
It doesn't automatically turn on. I forgot I had that feature turned off for one class. Okay. Let me pull yours back up. Let me get the split screen so I can look and see all at the same time.
Wish I could
All
do
right.
it. Can't figure it out.
Let me see here. Okay. All right. So David, if we're talking about your test too, again, if we're going down the route, I think you did a good job of the knowing, influencing your doing. I definitely think that you took into consideration all the different various tests that you used, and it definitely influenced what you are doing with your PLC. I liked how you used a variety of different data. I like that you used the EOC, the SC Ready, and the map. I thought that was good. Just to be able to show different types of data for the same students. Now I don't know about your kids in map, but sometimes our kids just, click. Yeah. So me personally, I didn't want to use map just because I know our kids and I would have skewed my data. So I know at least with the EOC, they really sat there and they took their time and did it. But kudos to you for using it. I do like that you did have a lot of detail in your data collection strategy section. There was a very clear understanding behind your rationale for what you did. So I think that was a good job in that section of doing that. I did also as well like your section for the pressing need. I particularly like the line that read, the team members decided to focus on improving current teaching strategies, examining, planning best practices for improving algebra skills, and identifying students for additional intervention based on past trends. So I thought that one sentence alone just kind of culminated the whole entire thing, basically the whole entire AAPSL in a sense. I thought that was really a gem. So if you're editing anything, whatever you do, don't take that one out. Don't take that one out. I thought that was a really strong sentence. I was like, okay, everything totally makes sense with this. Now, if we're talking about some of the weaknesses, and again, like you all said, you have that APA style writing, so you're very straight to the point, straight to the details. Well, straight to the point, not a lot of details. I wanted more in the collaborative data analysis section. I wanted to see what steps you took and the group took in brainstorming to get to this point. You know what I mean? That's what I wanted to see. I saw the end point, but I wanted to see how you got there. Gotcha. That's what I was missing. I wanted to see, okay, well, what was the discussion like surrounding this, or what points did we lead up to get here? That's for me. That's what I was missing. But again, if we're going with the whole, straight to the point thing, then it was perfect. But me, I wanted more.
Yeah, and one of the things I can put in there, it was kind of uncomfortable during the meeting because the lady that does all the data did not see the fact that it was weird that our EOCs were dropping for just freshmen, but juniors were going up, and me questioning like that.
Oh yeah,
I got a lot of heat from that.
Well, I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of what I said. I was like, I didn't make this up. This is the data that's here. So, but I can pull some of that more in there, how we looked at that and compared those sections. So,
yeah. Let me see. And then in the data presentation section, I wanted just a short paragraph for you to tell me how the data was presented to them. So how you just talked about that whole, we looked at this and we looked at, the juniors were going up exponentially, whereas the freshmen were going down. I wanted that's what I want more of. And just with the data, like I said, the example they showed us, I know we didn't have to have that example kind of had a little paragraph that kind of told you, okay, when I presented my data, this is how it went. I like that just because to me, again, I wanted more details. I needed more than just a chart. I needed to be able to, you know what I mean, to kind of flow it all together. But again, that's a matter of semantics. But I think you really did a good job in terms of demonstrating your leadership, especially, like I said, in identifying that most pressing need. I think you really, really, really did a good job of that. And like I said, just by looking at the trend data, but with 3 different tests, you know what I mean? That's a lot of work. And I think that definitely shows your leadership capacity and, you know, quality as well. And then, like I said, too, as I wrote on your peer review, not only doing that, but with it being so much data and being able to take it and you know, minimalize it there a bit. Because, you know, with us being both in South Carolina, I know how many places you had to go to find that data.
Oh my goodness, really?
I know. It's not like you all's is where you go in one place and it's all there. You had to go a lot of different places to find it.
Wow.
a lot. So just to be able to take that, analyze it, compare it, I mean, that took a lot of work. So definitely, like I said, kudos to you. You did a good job on that. Yeah, your narrative, it was clear of any grammatical or spelling issues. It was formal in tone. You did address yourself as the candidate and the team members. You know, all your acronyms were spelled out. Let's see here. Your information was logical. It had a professional tone. Your headings were clear. All of that stuff. You didn't have any in-text citations in this one, so you know, in terms of APA, I didn't see any issues with that since you didn't include any quotes, and I don't think that you have to. I didn't feel like I needed any. So you know.
The only thing I wondered if I needed to reference the map place and where I found the scores that I compared it with, like, because I had to go online and find where the 2 grade levels below numbers were for the map scores and where on our South Carolina state stuff, where the SC Ready, where those scores were, you know, so I could find out what was proficient and not proficient. I don't know if I needed to go back and reference those websites or leave them alone.
I wouldn't go that far because you did such a good job in describing that with the EOC data, where it almost looks like the SC Ready and the map just supports what you already knew with EOC. That's how I took it to mean. I didn't take it to mean like these are 3 separate tests that we're analyzing to stand alone. I looked at it as EOC is the big, you know, it's the big test, and
Right.
SC Ready and map support them. That's how I took it to be. Is that how you wanted it to be, or did you want them to be like 3 separate things that kind of?
No, that's how I wanted it to be. So if you saw it,
Well, that's what I got.
I was wanted.
Yeah, I got that.
Well, good.
Yeah, I wouldn't go that far.
Cool.
Right.
I got that as well. Well, she did such a great job. That was about that citation. I saw it as well, but I think you did bridge it together well. You didn't get, I jumped to the bottom of the format part. My little APA trying to check it out. I felt you did a great job. As long as I don't remember this part, but I don't think you said anything too specific that came from that site that you wanted to go back and cite. So
Right.
I was just leaving it alone. Just looked like it merged, like Megan said. Content, supportive, align with your focus. I didn't realize you guys had to go in 3 different places to get some information. So, kudos to you.
Well, it's so funny because when they were talking about EVOS over and over and over, I actually typed Dr. Crawford. I was like, what are they talking about? I don't even know what.
I know what it is, but we don't. One year we did some stuff with it. I won't go into detail because I know this is going on YouTube and all. But we did a little bit with it, but we're not one of those places that puts everything's not in EVOS. Everything's in Enrich, but even in Enrich, Marcel, not everything is there. If
Right.
that makes any sense.
Right.
I know that sounds crazy, but your map data is not in Enrich. You can get SC Ready there, but you're not going to get map. You're going to have to go somewhere else to get map. You're going to go somewhere else to get EOC.
Right.
Yeah, it's a lot.
I wish we would do it more like that, or we could. I don't know whether I saw someplace that they sent a link out that South Carolina had Enrich, but when I went to not Enrich, EVOS, because it was in
EVOS,
links up there. But when I went to it, it needs a login. So I don't know if you got to be an administrator to get to it in South Carolina, or I don't know.
I'm not sure, but I do know to get into EVOS here, I had to get the code from my administrator, just like in order for me to get into the SIT data.
Mm-hmm.
I had to be privy to that from the SIT team to sign in. So data collection, supportive, strength, great, clear understanding. A lot of testing measures were clear. It's demonstrated the need of the school. Didn't really see too many weaknesses, like I said earlier. Great leadership skills, supports the role of leading the team. And, you know, it's interesting that we both all talk about our leadership skills. We have to grade on the rubric based on what we say in the paper and what we see in the picture. I don't know if video would be a better shot at that, but a lot of my team, they don't want to be video. They didn't really want to be on the picture. And we're like, okay, you guys, you got to do something. So I think you demonstrated that with your writing. Formal language acronyms identified the first time. No grammar formatting issues, logical, organized, like I said, professional. As an evaluator, I was able to comprehend it, headings, subheadings, clearly presented, easy to locate. That's pretty much it. Gave a lot of data, different sources, but I commend you on that. I commend you.
I'm hoping that as we were talking about the next thing, that task 3, and I know it's so daunting. It's hard to even think about starting on it, and so so it's good to have something like this out of the way, because like I started looking at this data when I kind of looked ahead on the first week. So that's really the only reason that I got the data, was because I had been working on it in addition to doing the other stuff up to that point. But I haven't, on task 3, I haven't even begun to look at the annotated bibliography kind of stuff. Like I don't even.
Well, I can at least say that I actually started looking at my annotated bibliography as a working draft when I was working on 2, because I knew at some point they were going to ask me for some solutions. Yeah. And I had to try to find something different than iReady and read theory, because that's what we're using. I'm going, okay, I've got to find something else other than just programs as well. So I'm going like, what in the world am I going to say could work at Lakeview? You know, we've gone through a lot of issues. You know, I've gone through corrective reading training. I've gone through that our TCP training. All of those trainings are so in-depth. It takes so much time that we probably can't even get a kid to sit still long enough to even implement that. So that's what's going to be hard for me. The literature to support the I found a lot of that. I can come up with 5 of them. The program likes, but the annotator is going to be interesting. I don't have any other solutions for alternative setting. Might be easy if I was in a classroom, different classroom.
It may be beneficial though too to find some articles about like you said, those disciplinary issues and how maybe online learning affects students who have disciplinary issues. You maybe I don't know what's the proper, you know what I mean? I'm trying to think it through I'm trying to say it while I'm thinking it through, but it may be worthwhile to kind of go down that route as well to see what you can find about the effects that digital learning has on students from, you know, disciplinary backgrounds. Seeing as though you've been using read theory and you're looking at using more digital resources, I presume, you know, I think good to go down that route too, and that would support some of the resource selections that you make. I think so.
Okay, I thought about that's what's basically found a lot of more digital than any other type information. I was thinking about even, and it's sad to say, but even with the digital piece, it's still difficult because in order to get them to sit still without wanting to disrupt the class, even online with that short amount of time, it's difficult. So I'm going to do that just for the sake of having an annotated bibliography to try to support what I'm written. I will do that. So.
Okay. David, have you started yet? You said you haven't started, right?
I started.
I've looked. That's the best I could. I mean, I knew we were going to have best practices, so I started with a search of best practices for teaching algebra skills to high school students. So I kind of threw that net out, I guess, in the middle of last week, but I haven't gotten, and I actually asked the PLC in the last meeting if they would also pull best practice ideas in for me. So I'm hoping that they'll find articles for me too. I took one of the articles that I found and presented it, as in giving it to them, not presented the information. I gave it to the PLC group to kind of get their juices flowing into thinking about what I was wanting from best practices and how to think about finding evidence. So they're kind of supposed to be doing that for me too, but I haven't. When I saw all the things that we got to do by Sunday, I was scared. So I'm scared.
Well, hopefully we will have a little bit more time. I don't know what it looks like, but Dr. Crawford did not. Well, I don't know if I need to say this on the video or not. Maybe I should.
Hold on.